The Tuesday before Thanksgiving, my mom called. "It'll be small this year, just adults," she said, her voice flat, like she was canceling a dentist appointment. No explanation, no warmth. I pressed her, asked if someone was sick, if plans had shifted. "No, it's just easier this way," she replied. Easier. That word hit like a brick. I knew what it meant. My daughter, Emma, and I weren't wanted. I'm a single dad. Have been since Emma was 4 when her mom walked out. 5 years later, it's just us. Emma's 9 now. Sharp, loves dinosaurs, drinks hot chocolate like it's a personality trait, and says thank you without prompting. She's the kind of kid who senses things like she knew just adults was code for "you're not invited." I said, "Okay," to my mom and hung up, keeping my voice steady so Emma wouldn't hear the crack. That night I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, swallowing the hurt. I've always been the quiet one in the family. The reliable one. I work, I help, I don't make waves. When their AC broke last summer, I sent money. When my brother Mark's car got repossessed, I covered it. Mark, the golden child with his 4 kids and freeloading wife, Ashley, lives in a house my parents bought, drives cars they financed, and still begs for grocery money. And when they can't cover it, they call me. I'm the family ATM, always there, always taken for granted. Emma and I made our own Thanksgiving. No turkey. Our oven's too small, so we roasted chicken, laughing in pajamas. She made a construction paper turkey for the table, set with paper napkins. We watched old movies, her head on my shoulder, a chocolate smudge on her cheek. It wasn't sad. It was ours. Then, around 8:30 p.m. I opened Facebook. Muscle memory, just scrolling. And there it was. My mom's dining room packed. Giant turkey, mac and cheese, 3 pies, the good china. Mark, Ashley, the kids, my parents. Everyone smiling like it was the best Thanksgiving yet. Folding tables, backyard heaters, string lights. Not small. Not just adults. The biggest they'd ever thrown. And Emma and I. Erased. Emma stirred, saw the screen and whispered, "Why weren't we there?" My chest burned. I opened my messages, found a screenshot of the $2,800 utility bill my mom sent me days earlier. Another, just this once, plea. I sent it back to her with one line. "Consider it cut off." Then I tucked Emma in and stared at the ceiling again. Too angry to sleep. WY morning. My phone showed 42 missed calls from Mark. No voicemails, just desperation. Then my mom texted, "You're overreacting. Don't punish the family over a misunderstanding." A misunderstanding. They'd lied, excluded my daughter, and thrown a party behind my back. By noon, calls came from my dad, even my uncle, who I hadn't spoken to in 3 years. They were circling the wagons, rewriting the story. Then Mark showed up at my door, unannounced, panicked. "We need to talk," he said, launching into how I'd upset Mom, made the kids feel guilty. Cut him off. "Why'd you let them exclude Emma?" He shrugged. "I didn't plan it." Msko. Typical Mark. Dodging blame, skating by on charm. He's 32 with 2 failed businesses, a crypto phase, and no job in 8 years. My parents bail him out, and when they can't, I do. "Not anymore. I'm done," I told him. No more utilities, no more dental bills, no more gas money. He paced, whining about his kids' suffering, about family. Then he slipped. "Ashley said you'd snap." That stopped me. Ashley, the only one in that mess who ever saw me clearly. She'd once called me the only functional person in the family. I laughed it off then. "Not now." Mark stormed off, muttering threats about telling Dad. That night, Ashley texted, "I'm sorry. You're not wrong." It was short, but it said everything. She knew Mark was a leech. I didn't reply. Instead, I dug through my files. Years of receipts, bank transfers, texts begging for cash, even call recordings. One stood out. A voice memo from 6 months ago, accidentally saved. Mark, drunk, ranting about how Mom and Dad's help was cheap, how they threw it in his face, how I was the only reason they weren't homeless, and how I acted better than everyone for it. The next day, I drove to my parents' house. No reconciliation, just a line to draw. Mom opened the door, her smile forced. Dad sat in his recliner, arms crossed, TV muttering. "I don't know what you're trying to prove," Mom said. "I didn't argue. I played the recording." Mark's slurred voice filled the room. "They act like their help's a big sacrifice. Alex is the only reason we're not on the street." Their faces froze. Mom looked away. Dad leaned forward. "I stopped the audio and said, 'You've been feeding him and he resents you. He uses you, then comes to me when you're tapped out. I'm done.' I sent them the file and walked out." Mom mumbled about talking later. I didn't answer. That night Mark called crying. Mom had played him the audio. Dad called him a disgrace. Ashley had taken the kids to her sister's. "Please man, don't do this," he begged. But he'd meant every word. I saved the voicemail. Silence followed. No calls, no texts. In my family, silence isn't regret, it's strategy. They were rewriting the narrative, painting me as the villain. I didn't care. Emma and I took a weekend trip to a cabin. We roasted marshmallows, played board games, hiked through crunchy leaves. My phone stayed on airplane mode. For the first time in years, I slept without a knot in my chest. But Sunday night, reality waited. An envelope on my porch, my name in bold, from a law office. A formal demand for $42,000 in family loans for school, my first car, rent. Pure fiction. I'd never taken a dime. I'd been the one paying for Mark's messes, their credit cards, their utilities. Now they were flipping it, casting me as the leech. Then I found a second envelope. Ashley's handwriting. "I'm sorry. Mark crossed the line. You deserve the truth." Inside a USB drive. The recording was damning. Mark laughing, bragging about cutting me from Thanksgiving, faking tears for money, forging bills, even tricking Dad into co-signing a loan for a $3,000 watch he claimed was a house payment. Ashley's note said she'd begged him to stop, begged my parents to see him for what he was. "Maybe you can make them see I made copies of everything. Drives, transcripts, backups. This wasn't just evidence. It was armor." Monday morning I sent the file to Mom, Dad, Mark and Ashley. "Play with the volume up." By noon my phone exploded with calls. I ignored them. That afternoon Dad showed up, looking hollow. "I heard it," he said. He admitted they believed Mark's lies, that I was jealous, that Emma and I thought we were above the family. They'd been paying off credit cards Mark opened in their names, covering fake medical bills, co-signing loans for lies. "I'm sorry," Dad said. "We're not in denial anymore." He left without asking for forgiveness. That night, Ashley called. She'd left Mark, taken the kids to her sister's, found a secret account where he'd been stashing cash while playing broke. Mark posted a vague, martyr-like Facebook status. I didn't bite. I had more. Another voice memo, 6 months old, of Mark planning to disappear once he'd saved enough. I sent it to my parents with a note. "Listen all the way through. Then decide." Mom called the next day, voice soft. They'd confronted Mark. He didn't deny it. Dad cut him off. "We should have listened years ago," she said. "We want to make it right with you and Emma." I didn't commit. Mark texted, "Congrats. Hope you enjoy watching the family fall apart." I didn't reply. The family wasn't falling apart. It was finally breaking free.